So every time I build a new game PC or reinstall Windows, there's a few things that I do before installing drivers or games. Steps that I'm about to take you through. Remove unnecessary Windows features. They clean the system up and they give me a solid starting point. The first one is to disable core isolation. Core isolation is part of Windows Defender, and it basically puts things into like a virtual state. So it takes a lot of processing power that you'd rather use for your games or just general system performance. But to do that though, we go to Windows Defender down here, device security, core isolation. Core isolation details, mine's already off, but turn that to off and it'll get you to restart. That basically just frees up your CPU and allows you to get a lot more performance from not using that. Of course, it's going to be technically less secure, but it's a gaming PC at the end of the day. It's not being used by like public or anything like that. So I'm sure you're smart enough to realise that be careful what you choose and click on and everything like that. So that's the first one. Disabling BitLocker. Again, BitLocker is storage encryption. You don't want that on a desktop computer or right, okay. Yeah, so you don't want that on a desktop computer really. I mean, yes, if someone tries to go into your system and steals it, they're going to be able to access everything on your hard drive without the password. However, I wouldn't worry too much about it because it's probably not going to happen. And it does slow the system down a hell of a lot. Yeah, it's probably not enabled because it's a desktop, but you'll see it in here and you just got to go and uninstall it. BitLocker is found on laptops predominantly, but yeah, I'd recommend just getting rid of it because it does take up CPU allocation because it has to keep on encrypting everything. It takes a lot of time in the end. Disable Windows Fast Startup. So what is Windows Fast Startup? It basically partially hibernates the system. Therefore, when you turn it back on, it hasn't got to load everything from scratch and it basically resumes your session. So even when you press the shutdown, it won't really shut down the machine and restart every process and shut everything down. It will just load up things again that are partially done. This becomes a problem when there's a lot of processes running and things aren't shut down properly, and then you'll start to see things degrade ever so slightly, but you can tell how long yours has been running. If you go to Task Manager here, Performance, CPU, you can see this uptime. So for me, because I've got Fast Start disabled, this is why it literally loads a fresh session every time. You'll probably find days, weeks, even months on here for your build if you have a look. So to do that, press Start, go to Control Panel, just type it in there like that. Then you go to Power Options, and then just click one of these, choose what the power button does, for example, and then I'll show you this screen here. You may need to press this, change settings that are unavailable. Yeah, that'll be enabled on yours, turn it off. And that's how you do that one, and that makes a much better difference. It's a lot more of a stable system, because of course you think you're restarting it and you're not. So yeah, I would do that. Debloat Windows with something called BloatyNosy. So Windows installs loads and loads of bloatware, as you will know, and loads of background components. It ends up taking a lot of processor usage in the end that you don't want. So to get rid of that, someone's made a program called BloatyNosy. You can download it from GitHub. I've downloaded it earlier. So you go here, BloatyNosy, and here we go. There's a nice little interface here. And I haven't done this for a while, so we can go through it right now. So this is the experience. I just click Activate All. But you've got things like disabling File Explorer ads, disable Finish Setup ads, lock screen tips and ads. I hate all that stuff, and all the personalized ads. It gets rid of all this stuff. All the general tips, privacy settings, experience at sign in, it all gets disabled. It tells you what's going on at the moment because it says enabled here. telemetry data collection, all that sort of rubbish. Yeah, so I've basically gone ahead and removed all of it. I'm just going to go double check, make sure there isn't anything I don't want. However, that is all good. So we can deactivate all. Clean up the system with something called Revo Uninstaller. Awesome bit of kit. I used to use CCleaner a lot, but yeah, it's just got more and more bloatware on it over the years. So this company called Revo do Revo Uninstaller and Revo Registry Cleaner as well. They're both free. You can have paid for versions as well. However, yeah, brilliant. So let's go through this then. So this is Revo Uninstaller. This is just for the latest version. It's all good though. So this basically instead of going to our control panel, I have to remove programs. You can come here, and this will show you everything on your system, and you can remove it from here. It'll go through the control panel and remove programs, but then afterwards, yeah, let's get rid of It Takes Two. So we'll uninstall that. This is a Steam game, of course. You make a restore point, but I don't bother because I kind of trust it. So here we go. Look, the initial analysis. It knows that it's through Steam, so it'll always do the proper process first. So that's cool. Yeah, would you like to uninstall it? Yes, we certainly would. So just let it do that thing. And then we've got advanced, so we can scan advanced. And basically this is going to go and look through all of the folders and registry keys that actually left behind. And some programs are worse than others. So you can click select all here. There's 9 values here. We'll delete those. Yes, we do. Thank you very much. And then there's even more. So it's left all of the folder there, all of these config files and all this rubbish here that we don't want. So we can finish that. Yes. And there we go. That's fully uninstalled. The other bonus with it as well is you've got this thing called, so you've got Windows apps here as well. A bit like Nosy Bloat, it gets rid of all like the privacy stuff. This gets rid of the actual programs that come with Windows, and mine's pretty streamlined because I've used this, but you'll find on yours a lot of stuff that you couldn't care less about just to get rid of it. So you just go here, click uninstall, and it does its thing. But one of my most favourite things, you've got this auto run manager here in tools. You can go here. This is all the stuff loading up on startup. So there's all this sort of thing. I don't want that loading up on startup. However, I do want that. So yeah, all my ASUS stuff. The reason I've got that going is because of my lighting on the PC. Quickly show you that now while we're talking about it. In fact, no, I won't. Anyway, yeah. So I got Moonlight and Sunshine. That's for another video. But that's that. Junk files cleaner is a great one. So here's all my hard drives here. Just click that, click scan. There's a hell of a lot of crap. Your one though, it might take longer and there might be hundreds of more things. So I do this on quite a regular basis. So I'll delete all this crap here. There we go. That'll be got rid of during the next restart. Yeah, you've got Windows tools, which I've not used, but again, they're very helpful. And then you've got your browser cleaners as well, so you can delete all your cookies and cache and all your stuff from your browsers. I might as well do that quickly now. So that goes through and does that. Yeah, decent stuff. Office as well, and Windows, general sort of install files and all that. You can go ahead and do all that too. Yeah, so that clears the system right up. And what I always tend to do then after that is just go and quickly optimize the hard drives or SSDs. So just go here into C drive, right click, properties, tools, optimize and defragment. So you click there and then you can hold your control key, select all of them, and you can also do your advanced view, get them all there, optimize all, and that goes through and trims them all up to make things nice and fresh. And yeah, that is my first video on my first 5 useful things to do on the way to getting your PC streamlined. So yeah, in the next video I'm going to go through some Windows settings that I optimise specifically for gaming performance as well. So if you're interested in that, look out for that, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot.